America. It's fair to say that you didn't have a great experience of the 21st century. You had the Roaring Twenties, but also the Palmer Raid, Detroit riots, and Great Depression. But things are finally clearing up as President Roosevelt is put into office and offers a new deal to clear everything up. What could possibly go wrong? Well, in fact, what went wrong is nothing to do with Roosevelt's New Deal. It had something to do with America not joining the League of Nations and instead opting to rebuild their economy in strong trade links, even though they had spent most of the First World War selling arms to the European allies. Anyway, they became an isolationist nation and stayed out of international affairs, which you can imagine put them in a bit of a pickle when a world war broke out. Although his New Deal got mixed reviews, Roosevelt was elected into office for the second time and made his famous quarantine speech, in which he gave some great breakup advice to the world. He shared his beliefs that peace-loving countries should break off and stand up to aggressive countries if they are taking over. America was an isolationist country, meaning they did not get involved in international affairs, but that didn't stop them from selling large amounts of weapons, uniforms, and other wartime goods. In fact, in 1940, France was defeated by Germany and Britain stood alone and short of money, so America just gave them 50 warships. When the Lend-Lease deal was struck, a total of $7,000 million worth of weapons and supplies were given to Britain when France was defeated, and Russia when the Axis powers started attacking them. The amazing thing was the economic change that the war had on the people of America. Roosevelt was elected into office offering a new deal to bring the economy out of the Depression, but the recovery was slow going. However, after the war started, unemployment halved from its original 10 million a year prior because of the high demand of quality, American-made goods and weapons. It looked like war was clearing up the economy, not Roosevelt. America was doing well at the time, so why did they join the fighting? To find out, visual representations of exactly how it happened.
War is an easy thing to understand, said no one ever. So to help you, I've made a visual representation of how America joined the Second World War and the massive part that they played. So this is a normal map that you'd use in a history lesson or a geography lesson. The main thing that's happened is that instead of the prime meridian going through Britain as the centre of the attention, I've moved everything over slightly, so America is the centre of attention. So you have Europe here, Asia here, and America and South America down here. Now, Britain and France were under attack in Europe. When France was defeated, Britain stood alone and they were out of money. So, along with massive trades that America was making with Britain, they also lent them 50 warships to help fight off the invasions over in Europe. When Russia came under attack, they also created the Lend-Lease deal, which meant that America would lend Britain and Russia $7,000 million worth of war goods and supplies. Now, over here, America was trading with Japan. Japan in itself was using up a lot of oil and a lot of steel and invading other countries around in the area. They were invading China, they were invading Korea, they were trying to claim an empire over in Asia. So the US became very, very wary of this power growing next to them. So soon, fearing the power, they cut off their supplies of oil and steel, the two things that they needed most. Japan didn't like this one bit, so in December 1941, Japan sent planes over to the Hawaiian naval base of Pearl Harbor, which was under the rule of America. It was completely out of the blue, they had the element of surprise, and it was coordinated. On that day, over 2,000 American men died, and Japan lost a handful of
Wins.
in the naval base. Although they did destroy it, it was lucky that a lot of ships at Pearl Harbor were out on manoeuvre that day, so the loss of life and the loss of ships could have been much, much worse. So, the next day, America officially entered the war. They entered on Britain's side, and Britain and America both declared war on Japan. That's how Japan got involved in the war happening over in Europe. And eventually, with these two combined, even though France had been defeated, they eventually snuffed out the Nazi power over in Germany.
So there you have it. America from isolation to war, and hopefully it wasn't too boring. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.